At this point, you might want to restore your database from a backup that you have made earlier on. This could be necessary when, for example, you have installed the software on a new machine and you wish to bring your backup from the old machine to the new one, or something happened, you have to reinstall the software, but you don't want to capture database from scratch. You have it in some earlier backup that you have made. This is where you need one of these two softwares. I earlier on described them. So let's go back into the folder, right click, open file location, then let's select the setups folder. So you need one of these softwares to help you do that. You need either the My Manager or the SQL Yolk. Now they do the same thing, but the SQL Yolk has the capability to handle larger volume of database that the My Manager will give you some out of memory errors. So let me go to the SQL Yolk because that is the ultimate. So to install it, you only unzip it if you don't have it already installed. So I'm going through as if I don't have it installed. So I don't want to install it and then show you how to restore. Okay, so now I extract it to desktop and then you simply go and install. Very simple installation. So let me close this window and then go into the SQL installation. So we just go for the setup, after which we crack it with a serial key and that's it. Then you get a full version. Now this will enable you to have the SQL Yolk installed on your PC. So now just next, as you can see, very simple installation and that's it. So it is completed. Then when you run for the first time, it will demand the key. So we go in, put in the serial number. So we have registered in the name of Saprosoft. So we put the Saprosoft in there and then you go for the key. So the key can use the ultimate. That gives you all the functionalities in the software. So I prefer you use the ultimate key. And then you put the key also here. And that registers it. So you have the full version now. Good. Now your database script is available. So for example, I have that of mpresec. That is presec. So I have it here. So I have mpresec here. So only thing you do is that you unzip the database script that you have to get the notepad or the text file within the zipped folder. So you unzip to desktop, for example, as you can see here. Now, when I go open that one, open it with notepad. Now, what I'm going to see is a lot of text, which is what you're going to simply copy to the My Manager or the SQL Yolk to execute to put a database that you had on the other machine here. Okay, so now let me hold on to that one. Go and open the SQL Yolk and then click on new to register a new connection for me. So I can possibly call this one localhost. I'll call it localhost. Then I'll proceed to next. Then it will ask you for the particulars of the SQL server, MySQL server that you are having. So the username is root, is coming from the host, local host. Then I put the password here. So that password that you copied from Notepad, if you remember during the installation. So 5266527779. That's it. As soon as it's correct, when you proceed to next, or you can test your connection. So you can test and see if the password and the parameters are correct. So that means there's an SQL server available and that runs on the server local host, the host address local host, and also has the username that and the password I've entered. So it's correct. So now I proceed to connect and then it will prompt me to save it so that subsequently when I come, I don't have to put in the parameters again. I only have to select and I move on. So now I say yes, and that's it. So I am into the SQL Yolk. So this is where I'm going to execute the script which I have copied. So I'll just go to my notepad. So I'll minimize this, go to the notepad I have extracted, then select all and then copy. And then come and put that into my SQL Yolk here. Good. So this is all that you need to do. So once it is pasted, there's only one thing you need to do to make it work efficiently. Now, you have to check the top of the script. As you can see here, this one begins from drop database if exist. So because we are going to so it said drop table if exist. Because it is a fresh one, we simply need to go and have the system to create the database called mpresec and then use it. So there are three statements. The three statement is that if the database is already existing on this machine, then we'll first have to drop it. So for example, I'll just come and pick the mpresec. I'll just select and copy it. Then just above this statement, we need three lines. The three lines are needed only when the database already exists on this machine or this database. If that database already exists on this MySQL server, then we need to have drop. So first of all, you have to put drop database, the word drop space database space. Then you put the name of the database there. Then you end it with semicolon. Then we can now go and create it. Once you drop it, it means that is why when you are restoring database, you lose all that already exists in the old one because it will first drop it. And then the next statement is that you come and create it. So you drop and you create. And after creating, you use what you have created. So these three statements are crucial. Drop database, create database, and use. The use, you don't bring database, just say use and then the name of the database. Now, if it is fresh, like as you can see here, if you look at the right, I have a Jaqua, Great West, and these ones. You don't have mpresec there. So then for this particular restoration, we don't need the drop. Very important. You don't need a drop. So you simply go ahead, create and use. That's all. If the database already exists, that is when the drop is important so that it will delete it first before creating it. If it is not there, simply put create and use, and that's all. Then after that, we click on execute all queries and it will start. So it will take a little time based on the size of your database. If it is not too big, it will do it in a short while. If it is too big, it takes quite a little time to do. Once this is done, you have restored your database from one machine to the other. So those of you that will want to have a copy on your laptop aside the server, whenever you go and back up, the backup video is there. So there's a video of backing up. So you can create the backup from the server. And then on your laptop, you can restore what the server has on your laptop. But never try to do the reverse. If you do from your laptop to the server, you lose all that you have on the server and you only replace it with what you have on your laptop. It's very important when you are doing the restore. All right. So that is how to restore. When this one is done, you will see a message here giving you all the statistics, those that run the statement that run in error, those that had warnings, so you see them, and then those that had success, you see all of them there, and you have restored database. So what you have on this machine will be a complete replica of what you had from the other machine, and that's it. That's how to restore database using either SQL York or MySQL Manager. Okay, so now you see I have some errors in there. So I recorded some errors, I recorded some success, and those, so I can go and check those with errors and see why those errors. Okay, so it is telling me that it cannot create database mpresec. I have an error in the SQL statement online something something. So create mpresec and that's it. Okay, so you see what I did? I wrote create instead of create database. So I just have to put the create database. Good. So that is it. So create, it will create database, drop database. It is the use that does not have the database word attached to it. So that's it. So now I can go back and execute again. And let's see what happens. Okay, so that's it.